losses all on the road, but these two teams have played before. Utah leads it 2-0, and it's been a while. They haven't played since 2015. You see a couple Utes there, had big nights, a couple of big-name Utes.
Yep, they have both been here in Salt Lake City as the tip is up, and it goes to the Mastodons. It's been a little while, but yeah, Purdue Fort Wayne, definitely a program that's been Division I since 2002. But their head coach, John Kaufman, in his 12th season, he's really done a nice job with them as of late, moving into the Horizon League. As there's an aggressive drive. Corey Handoff the second. These guard play for the Mastodons been impressive.
The Mastodons have three outstanding guards that are very versatile. All of them can shoot it, all of them can drive it, and they can defend a little bit too. Their challenge, according to one of their assistant coaches that was helping me before the game, he said, we got to get all three of those guys playing well at the same time. They've had individual great games, but none of them on track all three at the same time.
Well, and they're also a team that has a variety of new players. They have 5 transfer players and also 7 freshmen, Joe.
No, I like what Coach Kaufman has done in combining transfer portal guys to good high school players, not just solely selling out to just the transfer portal.
And you saw the starting lineup, a fairly veteran starting group with fifth-year senior, a senior grad student, and a couple of juniors. But yeah, you're right, bringing in some freshmen, developing them as there's perfectly squared up and good. Seydou Traore with the bucket.
Seydou Traore, second on the team in three-point shooting at 40%. An interesting fact on him, that's his 10th three-point shot made this year, Krista. He only had 9 all last year at University of Iowa.
Yeah, worked on that part of his game. 12 starts last year at Iowa as well, averaged about 6 points a game. He's already up to 11 a game with the Utes. Skip all the way across to the corner, and that one won't go for Nelson.
Well, they've got to find Nelson. That's his deal, is shooting from the three-point line. 28 of his 34 shots this year are all from the three-point line.
Terrence Brown, a point guard. I'm a junior, and I'm from Minneapolis, Minnesota.
Josh Hayes, forward, junior, Gainesville, Florida.
Seydou Traore, forward, junior, Bronx, New York.
Keanu Dawes, forward, junior, from Houston, Texas.
Don McHenry, point guard, senior, Milwaukee, Wisconsin.
I wonder how come they don't let you and I do that, Krista?
You know, I'm okay. I like hearing the guys say their names. That's a lot of new pieces, obviously, to the system for Alex Jensen in his first year, and no starters back from a season ago.
12 new players, but he's got one pretty good piece coming back, Keanu Dawes, who is averaging a double-double. We'll have a chance to talk about him throughout the night, I'm sure.
Dawes, 8 in white, a player that they're really leaning on as a leader as they skip it across. There's Josh Hayes putting it down.
Dribble penetration there by the Utes, and that good things don't normally happen when you let the other team get into the paint with the ball.
Quick drive, Mikhail Stevenson, finger roll is good. Fifth year out of Fort Wayne.
He's a local guy, as you and I know, both of us being from Indiana. Southside High School in Fort Wayne, there's been a lot of great athletes come out of that.
Yep, transferred back to the home state out of Grambling State a season ago as that one gets tipped away. Trying to save it, and instead of the layup into the hands, that was Don McHenry that we talked about in the open.
That's what you call a sensuous putback, Chris. The sensuous just standing there and the ball bouncing in your hand. You might as well shoot it in.
You might as well. McHenry, fifth-year senior out of Milwaukee, Wisconsin. You said it, over 1,500 career points as driving it in. Stevenson, it's tipped out of play. It'll stay with the Mastodons.
Here's this dribble penetration coming down the baseline. And what a nice job by McHenry. Not only is he a good scorer, he can pass it. And there was that sensuous putback I talked about.
Yeah, a mistake by Duffy, saving it at that end. And a break for the running Utes. Fresh legs coming on for Purdue Fort Wayne. Ibrahim Kaba, Chris Morgan, and D'Angelo Ilese into the game.
I'm anxious to see Kaba at 6'9", he's their second leading rebound, but leads them in three-point percentage at 47%.
Traore, big hustle to get back as he had slipped and fallen. That shot short, and then the box out. He'll push it up. Traore, stepped on underneath. And whistling a foul call, though.
Nice rebound by Traore. He is talented enough. He can rebound it at one end and bring it to length of the court and the other end, and he is strong enough to finish those type shots. Coming off a 10.5 rebound game, he's had the most dramatic up and down early in this season. Started the season off with 23 points, just had the game of his life. The next game went 0 for 8 and didn't score a point. Now, the last 2 games, he has kind of evened out, so to speak. He's a very talented kid. He's strong enough, I think, in the Big 12 to be able to play a power forward, but the small forward is his position. But he's a big old fella at 6'6", 225.
He sure is. 1 for 2 from the line for Seydou Traore out of the Bronx, New York. He said he got into a little bit of foul trouble also in the last game against Sam Houston State. A nice win for the Runnin' Utes.
Sam Houston State, the Utes had them down 20 with about 10 minutes to go. Sam Houston just didn't want to quit and go home. They actually had a shot at around a minute to go to tie the game up or to go ahead.
Skip out, Chris Morgan, nothing but net. The redshirt junior, they have just gotten him back. He had been out with an injury.
He's been in double figures the last 2 games. He'd been out for a while. He's played 3 of their games with no starts, but he's a guy that comes off the bench and can really kind of get it going from the 3-point line.
Left corner, high archer. There's an answer from Terrence Brown, the junior guard out of Minneapolis.
Terrence Brown has had trouble finding his range from the 3-point line. He went forever before he made his first one. Now, he can do this in the open court. He is really, really talented.
Running Utes out running. Defense not able to get back and losing the shoe at the other end. D'Angelo Ilese.
Kendall Sanders with that running of the full court, the very talented freshman, just keeps getting better every game. And the Runnin' Utes right now cooking on the front burner, Krista, up 13-7 here in the Huntsman Center. 16, they beat Indiana University when Indiana was ranked 3rd in the nation. We'll talk about that later. They actually beat Indiana University back-to-back years, 16 and 17. That's quite an accomplishment for Purdue Fort Wayne over a blue blood like Indiana University.
Oh, it certainly is, and we know that. That's for certain.
Yeah,
both
you
of
and
us
I being from
Indiana originally. We'll see if they were able to draw something up and try to slow down Utah. What's kind of jumping out at you as you saw the first box score there after the timeout?
Well, Utah's 5 of 6. They're supposed to look pretty good when they're shooting 5 of 6. Now, they have to continue to make a concerted effort to guard these Fort Wayne guards because they are very talented, and that's going to be all night. But Utah is doing a nice job of handling the ball as well. 4 assists and no turnovers.
Yeah, another bucket for Stevenson. He's got 4 points. And there you see James Okonkwo, 32 in white, as well as Obamonte Abbey, who's checked in, 21 in white for the Utes. So some fresh legs on. New looks for them, and behind the backboard was Okonkwo.
Okonkwo had to sit out the first 3 games of the year. Last Saturday was his first game to play. He didn't even take a shot, but had 7 rebounds in just 14 minutes. So he will be very, very valuable, adding to the rebounding strength.
Yeah, and that's an area that this team's been focusing on after being out-rebounded against Weber State. There's a lot of teams that have been out-rebounded by Weber State.
Well, you and I were talking about that. They got out-rebounded by 7 by Weber State, and then they out-rebounded Holy Cross by 12, Sam Houston by 13.
Tough layup, but it goes, and falling to the floor. Terrence Brown with the hoop.
The point being about Weber State we were making, Krista, is that Weber State leads the nation in rebounding, so it's not a real insult to say they were out-rebounded by now.
Certainly not, as the Mastodons work it inside. Ilese, he's the grad student from the Bahamas. 31 games last year, 8 starts. He's played in every game, not a lot of minutes, but he's a big presence on the interior.
Purdue Fort Wayne went to their bench really early, and I think that's because Coach Kaufman's been out here before, and he understands playing at altitude when you're just coming into town. And Terrence Brown's 2 3-point shots made in a row after missing his first 11 3-point shot attempts of the year.
And almost in identical spots. He's got the hot hand in that far corner. Ball batted around, and Utah comes up with it.
both Utah guards I call scorers more than shooters. They combined last game for 38 points, but they were only between them 9 of 26 from the field. And they can both shoot, but they can really score.
Uh-oh, Brown.
How about that? 3 in a row will make a rooster crow. Let me tell you, that is great news for that kid and for Running Ute fans, as he had a whole lot of trouble making it go in from the three-point line.
Boy, quick crossover from Hadnot, but it's blocked and taken away. Brown, how about the right corner? This time, a little too much on it. And extra effort from Okonkwo, another chance. Tries to stick with it, and instead, it comes down to Stevenson.
I thought that was a good shot, an appropriate shot by Traore. I didn't think he shot it well. It looked like it came off the side of his hand. That was a bad miss, but that came way left off the rim.
Yeah, so far, I mean, he's a 42% shooter from the floor. He's got decent numbers. Not typical way. The quick crossover by Stevenson. He's a little short on the layup. He'll get his own rebound.
Well, that was a great move. He just couldn't make it go in at the other end.
Right place, right time for D'Angelo Ilese. We'll take the timeout. 11:42 remaining in the first half. Terrence Brown, get it done inside, get it done outside. Back to back to back 3 balls. And he's got the Utes up in double digits in a 6-0 run. Not too far from campus, and they took over the name. You can see about 10,000 years ago they roamed. They were actually herbivores, believe it or not. They ate twigs and leaves and things like that, and kind of similar to a woolly mammoth, but a little different in that regard.
You are very versed in your Macedonian type history there.
I'm into the mascots.
I just thought he was a big animal. I didn't know, but thank you for your enlightenment on that.
He's also just a big animal. Right now, the Utes outrunning the Mastodons. They had the 6-0 run before the timeout, and they're up to the double-digit lead.
Utes very impressive offensively so far. 61.5% from the field, 4 of 8, 50% from the three-point line. Still without a turnover, 6 assists to 8 field goals and no turnovers. That's coming off a game where they had 15 last Saturday night, which I know Coach Jensen and staff weren't real happy about that.
Well, they've given up 5 O boards, but they haven't given up any points off of them. But I'd have to think that number still kind of jumps out at you to try to get a better box out.
Well, their challenge right now, as I've said, they have played well in all their games at times. They just need to play well now and put a 40-minute game together. Look at McHenry. I'll tell you, when he gets that ball in his hand, he's got more moves than a military family. Let me tell you, he's got a great crossover hesitation. He's really hard to stay in front of.
Incredibly quick first step. He came all the way across the lane to the opposite side to lay it up good. 4 points for him, and the 8-0 run, it continues.
Doing a nice job of staying down and defending pretty well as hitting on all cylinders offensively.
With a help D there, but defense getting back. That's DeAndre Craig Jr. They'll push, and then the finish at the other end. Maximus Nelson with the outside jumper.
As I said before, Maximus Nelson, that's what he does in transition. Don't run back to the paint to find him. You got to find him out around the three-point line. 28 of his 34 shots are from the three-point line. Now, he's coming off a game. He was 0 for 4, so you don't want to let him get started.
You got that right. 71 made threes last year for the senior. The shot from Dawes wouldn't go, but an offensive rebound. Second chance, and now a foul going to go against Purdue Fort Wayne.
James Okonkwo's 4th rebound in just over 4 minutes. I tell you, that's where he is really going to help this team.
Both teams average about 9 threes per game. But for the Runnin' Utes, they've struggled a little bit. 33% shooting out there.
As you and I were talking about, they've got terrific guards. McHenry and Brown are both great scorers. I don't think either one of them are great shooters. Now, they do have a great shooter in the game right now with Jacob Patrick coming off his season-high 9 points, where he went 3 of 5 from the three-point line. But McHenry and Brown are guys who get to the basket, can finish it. They've got a variety of runners. Of course, as I say that, Terrence Brown just hit three shots in a row about 4 minutes ago.
He's been working on it. He's been working on it, Joe. 1 for 2 from the line for McHenry. Ball fake. Craig Jr., pretty touch on the left baseline.
DeAndre Craig, who averages 16 points. He's their second leading scorer, also leads them in free throw percentage. These three guards, as I said, if all three of them are on at the same time, they'll be tough to deal with.
His first bucket of the game, and there's Dawes making his presence known inside.
Well, what was impressive about that is he made kind of an instinctive cut. He was out on the left side around the three-point line, and when that ball was penetrated by Abbey, he knew exactly where to go, and Abbey really delivered it, and Dawes brought home the bacon, so to speak, on that.
Yep, his first bucket of the game. That's a big swat from Josh Hayes, the junior out of Gainesville, Florida. Splitting the two defenders, cutting in McHenry, and gets it to Josh Hayes for the hoop.
Josh Hayes leads them in block and leads them in field goal percentage, and you just saw they shooting 70% from the floor.
Brown, just the fourth Ute to score at least 100 points in his first 5 games on the season. Matson had done it. Matson was such a big scorer. Tim Allen, Purdue.
Well, I tell you what, Brown has been nothing but impressive. He was the 8th leading scorer in the nation last year, and he's posted 3 career highs this year, early in the year, on points, on assists, and he shot 16 free throws last game, and that's a career high. So he just continues to impress at the offensive end.
Beautiful shot at the other end. That was Craig behind the arc, trying to get his team back in it.
Craig has made 2 3-point shots in their last 2 games, as I continue to say. These 3 guards, you let them get going, and it's going to be a long night.
Transfer from Denver. The paint fairly clogged up. And a shot clock by.
The Utes' leading scorer has a very short memory, because before this game he was 1 for 15 from the 3-point line. Tonight, 3 for 4, 11 points, leads all scorers, and he's shooting them from there like he means for it to go in, and it is to the tune of 3 out of 4.
Yeah, it's really been impressive to see him kind of get himself going, and sometimes that's all it takes, you know, Joe. You hit a few, you build your confidence, and you hope that this streak can continue. You
know, in his very first game here, Krista, the Utes won, and against San Jose State, and he had a career high 8 assists, but he did not shoot it from the 3-point line. Before we could get up and leave the broadcasting booth, he was out here with the basketball taking 3-point shots. I mean, he is very dedicated to his game.
Well, and you can tell it's paying off, as the layup was good for Hadnot at the other end, and now the drive on the baseline. McHenry muscles it up good.
He is just a terrific finisher. He only weighs $170. I mean, he is kind of has a whispery built, but when he gets around the basket, he just has a knack for making it go in.
Sure does. Double figures every single game so far this season, and as the drive on the left side from Kaba won't go, and they're going to call a foul against the Mastodons.
Don McHenry has a season high of 26, as you said. Look at this, look at the great concentration. Chin up off his chest. The ball was on the rim, and he still had vision on it. That's what you call a great finisher there. Here's the amazing thing about him as well, Krista. He's the 2nd leading rebounder on this team. He had a career high early in the year, 9 rebounds, but he's been very, very consistently getting 4, 5, 6 rebounds a game.
There's a big reason he's part of that high percentage shooting in the paint for Utah this year. They've been pushing fast break opportunities, working it inside on penetration.
Well, he was 2-time All-Conference USA when he was at Western Kentucky, and the MVP of the Conference USA Conference Tournament last year, and led the Hilltoppers of Western Kentucky to the first NCAA tournament in 13 years.
Yeah, averaged 17 points a game 2 years in a row, led the team in both of those seasons. Right now, averaging 16 a game. And already this half.
And he's a good teammate. You know, I don't know, I've had him this now 5 games, and I don't know that I've seen him take what I would call a selfish shot, where he's forcing the issue. Of course, he could create a shot. He could fall out of bed and create a shot, but he and Terrence Brown are good friends, and both of them really good teammates.
Well, and it takes a little time when you bring a new group together to gel, to get some chemistry. I feel like this group, though, they get along. They're on and off off the court, they do a lot of things together, and they have good vibe about them already this early on.
And I think that's by design. I don't think Alex Jensen and his staff are going to take guys unless they feel like they're a good fit here.
Yeah, really intentional of how they built this team and how they put it together.
No doubt, no doubt. You saw McKinley with that great right to left crossover. He hasn't used it yet, but I tell you what, before the night's over, he'll execute a hesitation dribble that is as good as any as I've seen. He just completely stands his defender up. One of his many tricks in his bag of offensive tricks, so to speak.
Foul call on Mason Shrout, redshirt freshman.
Obamani Abbey back in now. He has become the third guard in that rotation after the two starters. He's played over 20 minutes in the last two games. You can see the Ute coaching staff kind of grooming him to be the third guy in that rotation.
There was Abbey with the air ball, and there's the hustle from Okonkwo to save it and find his teammate. Traore with the hoop, cleaning it up.
Nice effort by Okonkwo there. I think he's going to be an effort, a tough guy around the basket. I don't think he's going to be a big scorer, but I could be wrong. But he's going to be a great addition to that front line as the season goes on.
Adnot at the other end gets another one. Mastodons pull within 8. 5 minutes left in the first half. Pretty fast pace.
Yes, it has.
Not a lot of fouls, not a lot of whistles.
Yeah, it's been a pretty entertaining game, actually. The Utes, who, as I've mentioned, coming off a 15 turnover game, have done a pretty good job of taking care of the ball. Only 2 so far tonight.
And another offensive rebound. Okonkwo keeps it alive and finds Dawes cutting without the ball. Good movement by Keanu Dawes.
Another one of those, what I call an instinctive moves by Dawes. That's not a drawn-up play, obviously, and that's the second time. Here it is on the replay. Nice effort by Okonkwo. This is 2 in a row for him. And Dawes, oh, that's the one before, I'm sorry, with Traore on the little runner there. The one after that is when Dawes, again, just knew where to go and what spot to get in to get a bucket.
Hoping that Keanu Dawes can become more and more of a vocal leader for this team, really elevating his game. 31 games last year with the Utes.
Well, he led them in field goal percentage last year and rebounding, so it's no mystery he's having a pretty good year this year. He's also leading them in field goal percentage again this year and rebounding. Obviously, he's averaging a double-double.
He started to really come on late in the season last year, and you can see the improvement that he's continued to work on in the offseason as well.
He started his last 2 games of the year, had his best game of the year in the conference tournament, where he had a season high, had a double-double in both rebounds and scoring.
Another 3 in this near left corner. That time it's Traore. Utah should set up every play for the left corner.
I know, that's Traore's second 3, I believe.
Yep, sure is. 2 of 4 for him.
2 of 4 for him and 3 of 5 for Brown. No one else has one.
A floater in the paint. Second chance there. Duffy with the putback.
I tell you, that was a man-sized rebound. He went up in a crowd and got that. He is their leading rebounder. He has 17 offensive rebounds through 5 games, so he's averaging 3 offensive rebounds a game, and that was pretty impressive there.
Okonkwo, we talked about him, 7 rebounds in his last game. That was the first game for him on the season. 3 of them were offensive rebounds, and he's 6th among active Division I players with 14 or more. How about the left corner again? Traore back-to-back 3 balls.
I tell you what, they could put a Chase Lounge over there and they're just camped out in that left corner. Traore now with 3 made threes.
It's the hot spot, and the Utes taking advantage. And a travel call will send it the other direction. Utah 3 of their last 3.
Their protege, you might say, and Rick Majerus had a famous line about rebounding. He would always say, rebounding is an affair of the heart. And they're showing plenty of heart here of late going to the glass. When I was a head coach, Crystal, when they handed me the stats at halftime, the first thing I looked at was the rebounds, because I thought rebounding, and I still think that, is a measuring stick of effort. And if you're out rebounding your opponent, to me, that means playing pretty hard.
I'm with you on that, and especially on the offensive glass, just pure effort to hit the O boards.
No question.
Right corner not quite as hot as the left corner tonight so far for the Utes.
They need to go left, young man.
That's right. That shot partially blocked.
I said that Traore had made a season high made 3-point shots. That's what he had against San Jose State, where he had his career high in the opening game, where he had 23 points.
Just under 2 minutes left, first half. Quick move, and off the back of the iron won't go for Abby.
Abby is the only, when I say in that rotation of 3 with Brown and McHenry, he is the only, in my mind, pure point guard. I mean, that is his position. McHenry and Brown, for my money, are both combo guards. Now, they're both pretty good point guards when they have to be.
Boy, taken out of the hands, the quick hands of DeAndre Craig. Defense to offense.
DeAndre Craig, just an outstanding player, led Denver last year, University of Denver, with 13 points a game. He's coming off an 18-point game, 6 rebounds. Remember, he's only 6 foot tall, 2 steals in that game. He's pretty handy.
Well, he certainly is, and a quick timeout called by the Mastodons. Craig with 7, Hadnot with 7. They're leading the way. Nobody in double figures yet for them, but 2 Utah players, Traore with 12 and Brown with 11. They got a pretty good balanced attack, though. Pretty much everybody that's been out there has gotten involved.
They do. They've had 7 players score. Of course, they've been led all year by that trio of guards, and they're going to go as their guards go. They just don't have the inside scores to worry about punching the ball inside and really playing bully boy basketball. But those 3 guards can get going.
Joe, coming up at halftime, we're going to get a closer glimpse inside Coach Alex Jensen's first season as the head coach of his alma mater. We'll have part 2, episode 3 of Team Together, the 2025 Running Utes documentary. We have some stats, highlights, all kinds of fun things as this first half's winding down. Trying to work it inside, and it's batted away.
Well, after having only 2 turnovers before the last 2 possessions, they've turned it over twice in a row now.
And a drive on the right, that's Hadnot scooping it up, and then the takeaway.
Make that 3 in a row.
And frustration from Josh Hayes swats that one out of play. It'll stay with Purdue Fort Wayne.
How about this stat? One of the reasons this half has gone by so quick, let Josh Hayes, and this is classic. That's where most block shots come from, not the guy on the ball, but one away from the ball. That's Josh Hayes' second block to maintain his team lead with 8 block shots for the year. Utah shot 4 free throws and Mastodons none. That's one reason this game has gone so quick. They haven't been parading back and forth to the free throw line.
And they've yet to go there. Coach Jensen looking on his team, 3 turnovers in the last 2 minutes, 12 seconds. Not the number that you want to see. Oh, and they're splitting the defense.
Corey Hadnot, their leading scorer, and I tell you what, he is handy as a shirt pocket when that ball's in his hands. That was a crossover and split the defender. And I just continue to talk about these 3 guards, and they are leading the charge. Now got it back under double digits.
Yep. A little momentum for them, maybe going in at halftime as they continue to push. Kava, long stride, flicks it up. No good, just couldn't get the control. And Utah pushing it ahead. Dawes with the finish. Good look ahead from the other end.
Speaking of bully boy basketball, Dawes found the guard on him and just bullied him inside.
Stopped a 6-0 run by the Mastodons. That one won't drop, and that will do it. Utah able to push it back out to a double-digit lead here at halftime.
Here's Dawes on that 20. Let's see if they can get it going right out of from the get-go here in the second half.
Well, you're right. If you are Purdue Fort Wayne, you had a couple of steals, you got some scores off of it, and that's a good sign. First bucket goes to Brown over, guess what, in the left corner.
How about that? and to reiterate the point I said about Don McHenry, a great scorer, over 1,500 points, but he always makes the appropriate pass. That was classic draw and kick, got it in the corner, Boy, and he not only got it to the right guy, he put it right in his shooting pocket there. And Terrence Brown dropped that one like no one's business.
And then finally, Brown gets one in the right corner. And the assist to field goals made now, 14 assists on 19 made field goals. That's a pretty good ratio.
Well, Brown is just hotter than a chubby kid's corduroys right now, Chris. I tell you, I've never seen him, in 5 games, he scored a lot of points. I've never seen him shoot it like this.
6-0 start to the half for Utah.
How about this? And a nice pass by Dawes. This Ute team's doing a great job of sharing the ball.
Yep.
We didn't even talk about Dawes at halftime. He's just doing what Dawes does. 6 rebounds, 6 points, 2 assists. That's his 3rd assist.
Hadnot gets it left wing. Going for the steal and didn't get it was Utah. And then the Mastodons made him pay with that one.
In fact, that last assist by Dawes gives him a new season high at 3. His season high before that had been 2. Of course, you don't expect a guy 6'9", 230, unless his name is Magic Johnson, making a whole lot of passes.
I got you there. Yeah, 3 assists for him, 4 for McHenry, leading the way. Good movement without the ball by Traore. Kicks it out, and that shot off the mark by Dawes.
Well, that's about the only thing he's done wrong in my mind, and that was what I used to call a DNDI. Did not draw iron. That missed everything. I'm not sure he was ready to shoot that.
There you see the sharpshooter, Terrence Brown. This season's averages and how he started, you talked about it. Just that one made 3 up to this point. Well, he has worked on it, and it has paid off.
He had 36, which is a career high against Weber State. And basically, Weber State couldn't guard him. Weber State, by all practical purposes, should have won that game, kind of deserved to win that game. And Don McHenry hit a big 3 to tie it up. But Terrence Brown and him just dominated that game. The Wildcats couldn't do anything with either one of them.
3 ball there. That's for Mikhail Stevenson. Adds to his totals. He's got 7 points.
Both teams all man-to-man. In fact, I haven't seen Utah play a possession of zone here in their first 4.5 games.
Abbey trying to scoop it up, too far out, and that leads to the fast break opportunity in the finish. Stevenson takes it inside this time.
And one of the cornerstones that I know Alex Jensen was spoon-fed under Rick Majerus was transition defense. He's not going to be very happy with that. Majerus used to say we give up no baskets in transition. That one was way, way too easy. Someone was asleep at the switch, whoever was supposed to be back protecting the rim there.
Yep, they sure were. 9 points for Stevenson. McHenry squares it up the lefty. Even though the defender was right there on the left side, he turned his back to him.
Yeah, the defender was in pretty good position there, and McHenry he doesn't square up with that shot. He kind of gets his shoulder pointed toward the basket, which is a little bit awkward in my mind, but you can't argue with the results.
DeAndre Craig muscles that one up.
Well, the Utes have got to get out of this. We're just going to trade baskets for the next 14 or 16 minutes here. They've got to really go to work down at the defensive end. They've been very good offensively. Great ball movement again. And Traore now with his 4th 3-point shot of the game, which ties his season high. His career high is 5 made 3s when he was at Manhattan, where he started his college career. But again, Krista, the Utes have got to get some stops is what it amounts to.
You're right, but the quick penetration by Abbey kind of started that last play, and then you see Traore with the finish.
Well, they're putting on a clinic offensively in ball movement and getting it to the right guy. Right there, though, is not good. Giving one up in transition. Baseline drive.
This half.
Well, if you like 3-point shooting, you're watching the right game. The Utes 4 of 5 in this half, and the Mastodons 2 for 2. And both teams putting on a display actually from the 3-point line. As I keep saying, the Utes have got to turn their attention to the defensive end. The Utes now with 3 guys in double figures. Traore, Terrence Brown leads them with 17, and Don McHenry with 10 points and 5 turnovers. I failed to mention this talking about Keanu Dawes. He's actually 2nd on the team in assists, and he had 12 come in a nice game. He's got 3 already to give him 15.
Yeah, he's got great hands. Foul call after we came out of that timeout. We're going to have to take one more with 15:59 remaining here in the second.
In his 20th year in the program, all-time leading win guy, and John Coughlin done a great job there. The point I was going to make, Purdue Fort Wayne has yet to shoot a free throw, and the Utes have only shot 4.
And it's not as if they haven't gone inside and tried to draw some contact, maybe, but nonetheless.
And you know what? I haven't seen a play where I thought, boy, that should have been a foul.
Yeah,
there.
I'm with you on that.
This officiating crew has done a really nice job. Officials are the best when you don't really notice them, and you have not noticed them.
Yeah, exactly right. As driving it in, Kendall Sanders gets into the action, the freshman out of Los Angeles.
Kendall Sanders has made the most of his opportunity with James Okonkwo out for 3 games. This kid has just gotten better and better each time out. He's gone from maybe being redshirted to being in the front court rotation.
And then he gets the seal, looking to push. Brown can't hang on, though. It's going to go the other direction. Nice hustle and effort, though.
Coach Alex Jensen saying, settle down, settle down. You know, getting going a little bit too quick.
Yep, one more deep breath, one more second on that one, and they maybe would have had a fast break opportunity.
As our fellow Hoosier used to say, John Wooden, be quick but don't hurry was his famous words.
Yep. Jacob Patrick's checked back in, the junior guard from Germany. Played overseas internationally with the senior national team quite some time.
He's mostly known for his three-point shooting, but I keep making this point. I think he's the best defender on this team. He's not a flashy defender. He doesn't get a lot of steals. He just is hardly ever out of position off the ball, and on the ball, he has great discipline. He stays down, stays in stance, and just does not get out of that position of being between his man and the basket.
Could be part of the reason he's in right now.
No, there's no question.
There's definitely been some plays you said they got to kick up the defense.
There's 18 teams in that German league he played in, the basketball Bundesliga. So over 200 players. There's only 2 guys shot 50% from the field and 40% from the three-point line, and he was one of them.
Really impressive. His father John played at Stanford for Mike Montgomery. He's a coach as well. And a swat from behind. There's some defense.
From my guy, Jacob Patrick, very alert away from the ball. The 2 principal elements of good off-the-ball defense is stance and vision, and that kid has both of them almost all the time.
He showed it right there. Pick and roll on the ball, trying with the left hand. And guess who? Okonkwo, another offensive rebound.
Makes Okonkwo a good rebounder, Christus. He goes after a lot of them. You know, a lot of guys are good rebounders for the balls they go after. They just don't go after enough. He goes after a whole bunch of them, as you just saw.
The 6th offensive rebound. He's knocked to the floor. Brown will get up. The layup good. That was Kaba.
Now, Jacob saved him on that last dribble penetration with that block from behind. But that's 2 straight possessions. Utes have given up pretty easy drives to the paint, and that's just not going to work. They've got to get that. Neither will that. That being their 6th turnover of the half of the game, I think.
Make it 7. And a whistle and a foul going to go against Utah as running Utes with a scoring drought over 2 minutes.
Here's that offside block by Patrick again, being very alert away from the ball here, and being able to do it without fouling. He's coming off his season high, a modest 9 points, but they were all made 3-point shots, 3 of 5. In fact, of his 19 shots here this season, 17 of them have been from the 3-point line. So he's kind of that designated 3-point shooter.
Fresh legs coming on for both sides. McHenry and Dawes back in for Utah. Darius Duffy on for the Mastodons.
With James Okonkwo eligible to play now, the coaches, Alex Jensen in particular, has getting closer and closer to his 8-man rotation. You know, now they can play 4 guys across that front line, 3 guards, and feel pretty comfortable about that. But it took them a while because Okonkwo was not eligible to play for the first 3 games. So they're playing a little bit of catch-up in terms of chemistry and rotations.
First free throws for Purdue Fort Wayne at the 13:20 mark. They finally got themselves there, and both go down for Hadnot. Henry helped him coming out. He skips it all the way back outside.
The other thing I like about Jacob Patrick, he is a great ball reversal guy. He gets it and always makes the appropriate pass, whether to get it reversed or to hit the open guy. A lot of guys, that ball hits their hands and they're what's called a ball stopper. This guy really facilitates the offense, and that's where Terrence Brown is at his best, going right and getting to the basket.
It's quick on quick. 17 points in 19 minutes.
He is already, before this game, shot 42 free throws. And as all great scorers do, they find their way to the free throw line. And I've said this a couple of times in each game. He shot 199 free throws last year at Fairleigh Dickinson, and if he continues to shoot this many, he's going to shoot about 250 this year. He's hard to stay in front of, now, I'll tell you.
Gets them both. Yeah, 13 of 15 from the stripe in their last game in the win against Sam Houston State. He's scored in double figures now. You got to go back, though. 37 straight games, double figures for him.
Amazing.
Yep.
He is amazing. While I still contend he's not a shooter, he is a scorer. Someone fell asleep on the backside of that defense there. I think it's hard to tell, but usually it's the bottom guy on the weak side that needs to pick that roll up. I'm not sure that was a roll, that they double teamed the ball, and then the mastodon post player was just left all by himself there.
Down below double figures once again as Utah works it inside. Okonkwo. Nice patience, didn't rush it, puts it down.
And what a nice pass by Don McHenry. A little shot fake to get his guy up there, not to get to a shot, but to create a passing lane. And he is so clever with the ball.
Skip all the way out. Jay Mosley's shot won't go.
Really nice contest again by my guy, Jacob Patrick. I mean, he was on him like he was supposed to be, actually, as that ball got reversed.
A little bit more focus for Utah with the defense. Shot short, another O-board. Okonkwo. And that one short for Patrick.
I've rushed on that short shot clock there. You won't see him miss that bad.
Aggressive drive and the tip up to keep it going. Duffy cleans it up.
And once again, dribble penetration causes a help situation. When you have a help situation, you're not there for the block out. And too many times, the Utes are just giving up too much dribble penetration. Okonkwo on what a great pass by Don McHenry. And Okonkwo won't miss any of them. But once again, the Utes have got to get back in transition to get where they want to go. And they have scored 30 points in the Pancras, and I don't think they've got a low post catch yet. It's all come off of dribble penetration, both at half court and on a secondary type break. And I keep preaching staying in front of the ball, where Utah's got to get better, and transition defense. And I'm not divulging any secrets. I think Alex Jensen probably had that same conversation with his team at that last timeout.
Yeah, and coming into this game, Purdue Fort Wayne forcing 19 turnovers on their opponents. So Utah with 7, but giving up a lot of points off of them now as of late.
They have. It seems like every time Utah's turned it over, it's been off the steal and leads to the basket. Don McHenry all the way to the basket now with 12 points and 6 turnovers.
Yeah, good answer.
I mean 6 assists, excuse me, not turnovers.
Now the timeout. We'll find him. Hadnot. Misses, just didn't quite have the angle as Dawes was there.
It's interesting. I just said McHenry with 6 assists there. His season high coming into this game was only 2. So he has tripled that tonight. And boy, he's made some dandy passes.
Patrick reading the D sags off. And if you're a shooter, you love it when that happens.
Just that little step back to his left there. That was sweet as church music there. You better get up on him, make him dribble to the shot if you're going to guard him.
His first points of the game as Stevenson on the attack. He gets fouled.
Watch this, just kind of, oh, this is McHenry. And that was just a straight line drive. There was no change of pace, change of direction. And there was Patrick's three. He was coming off of a game where he went 3 of 5 from the three-point line. And that's a guy that knows where his bread is buttered, so to speak.
Yep, first bucket for him. Just under 10 minutes left in the second half. And boy, the strength of the guards for Purdue Fort Wayne, really something.
Yeah, and you're exactly right. That was a great finish. And once again, another basket in the paint. Was that Stevenson,
yeah,
I think, that scored that? And they just kind of muscled their way to the basket. John Dawes has 1 rebound this half and has not scored yet. Here's that great finish by Mikael Stevenson, who's averaging 13. He's a local guy from Southside High School. Spent a couple years at Grambling, helped Grambling 2 years ago get to the NCAA tournament where they hadn't been for a long time.
Yep. Yeah, upset the top seed Southern in the SWAC tournament.
Beat a Big Sky team in that first round in Dayton. Beat Montana State, who led for most of the game, and then they led a charge late in the game and then moved on to play the #1 seed. I think it might have been North Carolina.
Shot clock to 2. Defensive pressure coming out a little higher.
Brown just put so much pressure on you.
Foul on Duffy. That's his second. Alex Jensen, a couple of stints here at Utah, played for Majerus. But he's been an assistant coming in from the Mavs and the Jazz prior to that.
Well, he is Mr. Utah. He was was Mr. Basketball in the state of Utah, 1994. First ever MVP of the Mountain West Conference. Scored almost 1,300 points. So as I like to sum all that up, he was an extraordinarily successful player during an extraordinarily successful time in Nigeria.
Yeah, he certainly was. Been coaching for a lot of years now as well.
Well, if you knew this, his brother was my assistant coach for 6 years.
I wondered, I figured there had to be some crossover somehow.
When you've been around as long as me, there's a lot of crossover. Some I'd like to not mention, to be honest.
You're like the Kevin Bacon of the 6 degrees of coaching here. As the lane opened up and the layup was good, Hadnot gets another. He's got 20 points.
Right at his average. He's averaging 19.4, but he is averaging 25 over the last 3 games with a season high 32 against Western Michigan in the middle of all those 3 games.
Patrick's 3 around and won't go. Morgan, bigger defender, nowhere to go, needs some help. Finally able to get it to Corey Hadnot. Oh, and that's good D.
Really quick hands by Traore.
Yep, knocked it right off of Stevenson, and it leads to a fast break opportunity. Terrence Brown continues to do damage.
Now with 23 for Terrence Brown, who is the Utes leading scorer, who's averaging 23.8. And this just continues to be an up and down contest here. The Mastodons getting to the rim and just scoring seemingly at will, and then Terrence Brown kind of returning the favor down at that end. Still a lot of times in 5 straight years. So this is a team out here not a lot of people have heard about. This is a good basketball school with a very, very good basketball coach in John Kaufman.
Yeah, 2-time Horizon champs in both 22 as well as 16. And they've been in the Horizon since 2021. They were in the Summit League prior for many years.
Both times he was Conference Coach of the Year, they won the round robin in their conference.
Big swat and hops. Hadnot, he got up on that.
Well, how high he jumped wasn't near as impressive as the timing of that.
Oh, and then the push and then the finish. Big bucket. That's Ibrahim Kaba.
Kaba, the big kid from who redshirted at St. Bonaventure last year, but he leads them at 6'8" in three-point percentage coming into this game, 8 for 17, 47%.
East Orange,
now,
New York.
It's still back to 10 points. They just won't go away.
They got it down to 8 not so long ago. They just haven't been able to really get it much past that.
This very much resembles the Sam Houston State game last Saturday night, where Sam Houston just kind of hung around, and all of a sudden at the end of the game they had a shot to tie it and send it into overtime.
Some contact on the far side. Okonkwo.
Look at this great timing on this block, and like I say, a great rise, and then a 3 in transition coming off of dribble penetration, getting it all the way to the point, collapsing the defense, and then kicking it back out to the big guy, Kaba, for a 3.
5 points for him, his first 3 of the game. 6.5 left in this one. Purdue Fort Wayne picked 5th in the preseason poll in the Horizon League.
That's exactly where they finished last year. They were 12 and 8 in the league and 19 and 13. They're always very competitive. I have very few years where you see their final stats or win-loss record where they're not right there.
Shot well off the mark by Sanders, gets his own rebound, and he gets fouled. And just at the last tick, we're talking 0.4 on the shot clock.
Sanders, who is a pretty good three-point shooter, shooting 33% coming into this game, and shooting just about the same from the free throw line, 3 of 8 coming into this game at 37%.
Played last season at the IMG Academy, averaged 14 points, 8 boards.
You know, I looked that up because you see so many players coming out of IMG. You know what IMG stands for? Nothing. I mean, Google it and it says, well, it really doesn't stand for anything. They just decided to call it IMG. I don't, you know, it's a prep school down in Florida, very solid academically, but very high in developing athletes of all sports. But really and truly, it says, well, IMG doesn't really stand for anything. So I guess they just made that up at happy hour one day.
They must have. Well, I'll tell you, you're right. They filter in some incredible athletes, and
you can hardly watch a Power 4 type game. There's not someone on the court that went to IMG.
No doubt.
Whether it means something or not, it stands for something.
Swat on the baseline. I think they're going to get Sanders with this one. Dawes was there trying to give some help from behind.
Pretty good hesitation move here, and I think that was on Sanders, had his hands in there, and the Mastodons going to the free throw line for only the 3rd time. 2 of 2 from the free throw line going into that, and Utah 6 of 10 from the free throw line.
Foul on Sanders, his first, team's 4th. Purdue Fort Wayne with 5 team fouls. 1 for 2 for DeAndre Craig.
Starting point guard has been relatively quiet tonight with just 10 points. He's one of their top. He's actually their 2nd leading scorer at 16.
Yeah.
But once again, those 3 guards are pretty effective.
Junior out of Chicago, Illinois. All the way across with the quickness of Brown. Then he kicks it back out to Traore. And the long rebound leads to a fast break. Potential play here. Hadnot kicks it outside, and just missing was Nelson.
Nelson getting right to his shot off the fast break, finding that 3-point line, because that is what he does. As I said early in the game, of his shots this year, of 34 shots, 28 have been from the 3-point line.
Dawes was open inside the paint. Traore's pass a little too much on it. The turnover, the 8th of the game for Utah. Long rebound, another chance for the Mastodons.
Missing again from the same spot. Coming into this, he shot 40% last year from the 3-point line. Coming into this game, he was at 21%, having a little trouble finding his stroke here early in the season.
Yeah, 0 for 4 for him in their last game
makes him. He has one tonight, but not shooting it at that 40% level. He started 22 games at Valparaiso his freshman year, but now has been with the Mastodons for 3 straight years. Not a big score so far this year, averaging just a little bit over 5 points.
Commits the turnover, so Utah will get it. A bit of a scoring drought, almost 3.5 without a bucket. 1 for the last 7 for Utah. And this another, but guess what? Another offensive rebound for Okonkwo. That's his 8th of the game.
Wow. Utah now maybe giving in a little early to that 3-point shot. They shot it really well early in the game. And you saw that last offensive rebound. Alex Jensen stood up and said, slow it down a little bit. Let's try to get the ball moved from side to side where they're much more effective. And I thought Terrence Brown made a really good decision there on that offensive rebound. He had a shot, and following his coach's orders, brought it back out and tried to run a little clock and get a better shot. The Mastodons, as I said this last Saturday versus Sam Houston State, kind of adhering to that age-old formula, playing on the road, kind of keep it close until the end of the game and make a play or two and try to steal one, and they're kind of right there right now. I mean, they're down 9 with 4 to go.
They'll face St. Louis at St. Louis on Friday. Before they get to go back home, they'll take on Chicago State, but they've been on the road quite a bit. At Grand Canyon, at Ohio State, at Western Michigan, and now here against Utah. We'll take the timeout. 3:41 remaining. Mastodons not going away, but Utah has the 9-point lead.
Got to pay attention or they'll come in here and
we saw Grand Canyon after that, and a team that beat up on Purdue Fort Wayne 90-71. They're no pushover, and then they're going to head down to the Palm Desert for the Acrisure Series. It's going to be part of Grand Canyon there, as well as Iowa Ole Miss. It's going to be interesting. I'll kind of give them a feel for where are we right now in this.
Well, it's kind of the next step. It's not on anyone's home court, but kind of on a neutral court. And then, of course, the next step, play someone on their home court. Darius Duffy went 1 for 2, which you wouldn't be real excited about as a coach unless you knew he was 1 for 10 before that from the free throw line. Of course, the first one he did bank in, but it still counts.
That's right. 8-point lead for Utah, and they have not scored in 4.5 minutes.
Wow. And Fort Wayne is shooting 55% this half and has really narrowed that rebounding margin to just 2.
They sure have. Utes could use a stop defensively. Look at it in, lefty finger roll, good. USA.
What a nice pass by Corey Hadnot. He is second on the team in assists behind DeAndre Craig, the point guard. Of course, their leading scorer, Hadnot, with 20 points now. But boy, he put that one right on the money. That was a well-executed play.
And a 7-0 run by the Mastodons, and now the steal. 11th turn of the game for Utah.
Just like we did Saturday night against Sam Houston. The Utes kind of flirting with fire here. They need to get their head up and start guarding and taking care of the basketball.
Not keeping the pedal down. But there's some hustle right there.
Nice job.
Terrence Brown. He's the first Ute to score 20-plus in 4 straight games in a single season since Purdue did it back in 2016. As he tries to get another one there, can't get it. Long rebound. Cameron Dawes with the cleanup.
What a nice follow-up by Dawes. He now has 8 points, 8 rebounds, averaging a double-double, shooting almost 70% for the year. He's averaging a double-double very quietly, if you could say that about a double-double. Wow. Real big breakdown away from the ball by the Utes there, and that was not pretty there. Now it was history.
Yeah, got his 200, as you said, and got his econ degree. Worked in finance for a couple of years right out of college, and then in San Francisco, and then jumped into the coaching ranks.
I don't know what's wrong with these coaches. He gets an econ degree.
Right?
The coach from Sam Houston State had a chemical engineering degree.
Yeah.
You know, I'm pretty proud of that physical education degree I got at Texas Arlington. But
Yep.
man, I knew I was going to be a coach. Those guys had other plans.
Well,
Pretty impressive, though.
it just tells you gotta enjoy what you're doing, right?
I guess.
Minute and a half remaining. Oh yeah, and an and one opportunity. Good composure from Don McHenry.
Now, I'm not sure that would have been good last year. They've got a new rule,
Yep.
an emphasis on a continuation, making it very, very much like the NBA. And McHenry cashed in on that new rule there.
Yep, a few new rules that they've added a challenge opportunity for the coaches.
McHenry now with 15, getting very close to his 16.5 point average. He's got, coming into this game, he had 1,524 points. He has a real chance to get to the 2,000 point mark, which would be kind of rare air, so to speak. I think there's only 3 2,000 point scores in the history of the University of Utah. Could be 4.
Kick out to Nelson, gets that one. Missed a couple earlier and able to get back on track.
And look now, 6-point game with right just a little over a minute. The Utes need a patient shot here. They don't have to run the clock, but they need to take their time.
The Mastodons kicked up the defense, and then they settled in offensively. Got it done inside and out. 5 on the shot clock. McHenry, lost the knee, broke the ankles, sticks the bucket.
He is so handy with the ball, but what I like, he got to that crossover and he paused and kind of got his balance to get to his jump shot. He is so impressive with the ball in his hands.
Craig, and the cut without the ball. Stevenson with the layup.
The frustration from Alex Jensen, you could almost feel all the way across the court. He just throws his hands up in the air. That is the 3rd uncontested shot that they've given. He gave up a 3 to a 3. Watch this. Watch the way he got his bounce. And he doesn't get squared up like you and I were taught to back at Indiana. He kind of leads with that left shoulder, but again, you can't argue with the result. Mastodon team is...
Dawes and Okonkwo, 10 rebounds apiece. 8 of the 10 for Okonkwo on the offensive end. That's pretty impressive.
That's pretty impressive.
Yep.
Really impressive. He's really
I love his hustle.
Yeah, oh yeah. He plays hard. Remember those 2 saves he got that led to baskets? Those were, I don't know if they gave him assists for those or not, but certainly his hustle led to those 2 baskets.
He got 1 assist given to him. So maybe it was one of those. Bonus the rest of the way, both sides. Foul on Craig, his 2nd.
Brown coming into this game, as I mentioned, 42 free throws in the year. Make that 47 now on the year. And so he's averaging about 10 free throws a game. And he's kind of taken it to a new level. When I say all great scorers have a knack for getting to the free throw line, again, he's taken that to a new level. He's been living at the free throw line since he's been here with the Utes.
Sure has. Out of Minneapolis, Minnesota.
We interviewed him a couple games ago, and he's really a delightful personality. Just, you know, praising his teammates, praising his staff, just kind of one of those happy to be here type guys.
That's exactly what it takes when you're
like
trying to gel and blend. Exactly. I was just when you were talking, I thought it's like looking in the mirror.
Yes. Of course, he averaged his average at almost 24 points. I didn't average that down to City Park. Well, this Ute team continues to be a project in the works. I mean, there's no doubt. Boy, there was about 18 minutes where they looked terrific in that first half, and then they had made 3 straight turnovers in the last 90 seconds that led to 6 baskets, and then they have just kind of struggled along this half. They remember I mentioned early in this half they look like they're continuing just to trade baskets. You score, we'll score, you score, we score, and then we'll end up winning by 8 or 10. And that's kind of exactly what has taken place the rest of this second half.
And I think sometimes, too, you've got a new team, and sometimes you think defense should already be clicking and be there, but that's not always the case. Sometimes there's got to be chemistry on the defensive end as well.
Yeah, I had a coach when I was coaching tell me one time his defense was ahead of his offense. He's the only guy I ever heard say that before in my life, because my defense was never ahead of my offense. Offense is easy and fun. Defense isn't quite as fun. But this team has the potential, as we saw early in the game, to be outstanding defensively. It's more of a mental thing than it is a physical thing, I think, with them right now. And you go back to your point, you keep making 12 new players, and it just, you know, it's like taking a big chunk of dough and trying to create and sculpt something out of it. And they're getting closer, but they're going to have a little sense of urgency here as the Big 12 season gets closer every day.
Yeah, Big 12 going to be very competitive. 6 teams in the top 25 this past week, with a couple of teams receiving votes, and the team picked to win it is the #2 team in the nation, Houston. Arizona not too far behind. BYU, Texas Tech, Iowa State, Kansas.
And the thing I always talk to about the Big 12 is how physical it is.
Yep.
You better be ready to play when you take the court against another Big 12.
You're right about that. Boy, missed shot off the mark, alley-oop on the opposite side, though. The put in from Stevenson. Full court pressure. And another foul, and more free throws. So the 9th team foul.
Stevenson now, they're one of their top scorers. Those 3 guards have 20, 12, and 15. And they were the ones we said they were going to have to guard. Nelson, the 3-point shooter, was 6, and Duffy was 7. It's no secret that when you're playing this team that you're going to have to kind of bowl your neck and guard these 3 guards, because they really come at you.
It was actually the 10th team foul on Purdue Fort Wayne, so double bonus for Brown.
And now with 26, 27 make it.
8 for 8 from the stripe for Brown. What a solid game for him with 27 points. And then a 3-ball from the Mastodons, and full court pressure continuing.
Kind of like an old garden snake. They just won't die, aren't they?
Yeah, you got to give them a lot of credit. I've been impressed with the hustle, their physicality. They're strong, they're quick.
They got down early, and you remember how quickly that Coach Kaufman substituted, kind of trying to combat being on the road at altitude.
Sure.
And they got down early. I think he did the right thing. But that ended up being their demise. Is the first, I don't know, 6 or 7 minutes of the game. They have played Utah toe-to-toe since then.
They really have. They throw good for Seydou Traore, junior forward. He's come up big in this one. Gets them both.
16, 17 points
Yeah.
now. Couple rebounds to go with that. 4 of 8 from the 3-point line.
And that'll do it. Utah forcing the turnover, and they get the win. They move to 5-0